Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for the 14th episode of Skylanders Imaginators Soul Seekers series here on the channel. My guy right here, this very creatively named Fire Ninja, is bouncing at the scenes out of excitement. There he goes again! I love the idle animations of these Imaginators, but regardless, not that we spend much longer in our idle animations, because instead we are going to check out what our vault has for us, the Imaginite vault. So starting us off, we have some common gear. Now, whilst I proceed to open all of these up, I'm going to explain why things are a little bit different from the previous episode. So obviously in the previous episode, we set up a StarCast giveaway, something that I did in order to make up for the several months we had between uploading episode 12 and episode 13. So to make up for that lost time, I am giving away a StarCast. Obviously the contest itself was last week's episode, and now in this week's episode we're going to be announcing who the winner of that giveaway is, so definitely be sure to stay tuned until the end of the episode so you can check out who the winner of the StarCast is, as well as that awesome sticker sheet of the original 32 Skylanders. So yes, we'll be announcing that at the end of the episode. And another thing that's different in this episode compared to the previous is that I'm back to live commentary, because obviously in those months between actually recording the 13th episode and then uploading it, in those months I lost the original audio files for the live commentary of that episode. So because I still had the gameplay files, I decided to go back and post-commentate for that episode. But now we are back to our regular formula for these videos with the live commentary, as well as two common pieces, because this comes from a troll radio. So we have a guitar and a voice effect, the Maxi Box. I know that was a great impression, so let's quickly open up these chests. And the final thing that changed is that obviously in the previous episode we beat Fizzland with triple stars there, mind you. So eventually at the very end of the vault we're going to find the level stars that we earned from Fizzland as their own Imaginite chests. That is not a REBOOTED, that is a knockoff Chop Chop head. But yes, that means that what we set up for at the beginning of this episode was actually beating Baron von Shellshock at Creation Clash, something which we need to do in order to obviously gain access to the location of the Golden Arcade. It's very difficult to begin that level without having known its location beforehand. Unfortunately, when it comes to Baron von Shellshock and the recording of his Creation Clash game, there is none. It turns out I did that off camera already, so naturally we're going to have a final Imaginite chest in this vault, which will be something that we have earned from obviously defeating Baron von Shellshock at Creation Clash, but we did that off camera, so that is why we already have the location of the Golden Arcade known to us, and that is something that we're going to be tackling in a future episode, because for now, once we're done with the Imaginite vault, we are instead going to move on to doing some of the sensei elemental realms that have been left untouched for a moment. So we have some headgear, Chevalier here, a hat from placing Robot Fort for the first time. Then we have a level star, the Arm Guard, Rocky Arm Armor, intriguing that. But finally, last but not least, when it comes to that Creation Clash game I was talking about earlier against Baron von Shellshock himself, this is what we earned it off camera. We did the Swashbuckler Tail, a monster naga. That's an interesting tale to say the least. But one thing we also did in the previous episode, besides of course set up for this StarCast giveaway and play through Fizzland with a post commentary, is that we also seeked out the soul of Werewolf. Now what we're going to do with a fire realm here is we're going to try our hardest to not only get all of the collectibles first time around, but also to try and do so in a timely manner. So to say, I'm going to try and speedrun the level as well as collect all of the collectibles. So that is my challenge for the fire realm, to get triple stars the first time around and not have to worry about a second playthrough of a level, which will be dedicated purely to the speedrun. If we can do it all at once, then that would be fantastic. Though who knows, I could be asking for too much. But luckily for me, this is why we've been saving for Fire Sensei Ram until now. I've been saving it specifically for after we seeked out the soul of Werewolf, because of the 3 Fire Senseis in this game, Werewolf, by pure luck, is the quickest one. So with him we should be able to absolutely speed through this level and hopefully accomplish that speedrunning goal successfully. So unfortunately, unlike Grand Fun Show Shock, where I was able to press the skip button to skip over all the unnecessary deep stew, which again is what I did off camera, here I'm instead going to have to deal with all the unnecessary deep stew because I'm unable to push the best button of the video game, the skip button. So I'm stuttering like crazy over here. That's just a typical Igknight trait for you. Without further ado, let's grab this ice cannon because there's nothing that quite speaks to the fire element as accurately as an ice cannon. You know, ice cannons are the first thing I think of when I think of a fire element. So yes, I'm really glad the ice cannon is here. Honestly, this realm would suck without it. So without further ado, let's get that geyser plugged up. That's convenient, even though like making ice upon these pools would not turn them into ice, it would turn them into rock, because all what lava is molten rock there, mind you. That is just for the treasure, so we don't need to worry about that. I had a feeling that there was a treasure chest back there, but that feeling was incorrect. Obviously we need to make sure we get all of the treasure chests, because obviously we will fail the collection goals otherwise. I'm not doing a great job going through this quickly at the moment, am I? Okay, there we go, there's that second geyser, and now we're going to intentionally jump into the lava because it means we can bounce back to that previous geyser and have that completed. That is the quickest way of doing that, so hopefully the time I save doing that will make up for my previous mistakes going through this. There we are. Come on, Flarewolf, I know you can make these jumps here, bro. He's not the finest platformer, it seems, though not that Flarewolf was to blame. I am one controlling him after all, because once again, that's what playing the video game means. It means interacting with the game in the first place, and then obviously the game being manipulated based on said inputs I am creating with my controller device. Finally! What took that so long to spawn in? Jeez, talk about a waste of time for no good reason whatsoever. I'm hoping that that's not what has cocked up the speedrun, because that would be an absolute travesty.
The Skylander did it.
Yes, we did. Congratulations on noticing that, Avril. Whatever would we do without you and your need to point out the obvious? Honestly, we'd be screwed without it. We've also got to make sure that we don't leave too many enemies behind, because otherwise we're going to fail another one of our objectives, the enemy goal. So yes, let's get that guy out of here. That will hopefully solidify our chances of getting for enemy goal, because it would be worthless going through all of this, trying to get everything the first time, and then realising that we haven't got our triple stars because we've missed the enemy goal there, mind you. Without further ado, let's seek out the soul of Tycoon Crow and preview what it is this character has to offer us. Oh, that is one big llama right there. I suppose that's where he gets his soul gem name from. Regardless, these blocks have been placed into the exact positions in which they need to be, so let us try to do the same with the rest of them, so it needs to be sitting in them, because this is the least most cooperative ice cannon in the history of uncooperative ice cannons. I know, it's pretty inconvenient, that. So without further ado, let's take a bunch of these fellas out. It had it coming for for no reason, and I can even use my ice cannon as a weapon. That is convenient. Not that the ice cannon is more powerful than Flarewolf, because it isn't. The ice cannon is a absolute failure by comparison. Okay, cool, that's all sorted. We don't need to worry about going over to the selfie spot over there. This is a moment where I really wish I had the double jump glitch from Skylanders Trap Team, but that, my friends, would be asking too much. Okay, let's get that back up there, and then once we're back up here, come on, ice cannon, work with me here, man. Work with me here. Can I come down here and then does that work for the ice cannon afterwards? Come on, ice cannon. Well, now I'm back down here again, so I'm gonna have to bring that back up. I hate how awfully this cannon works. Like, geez, I'm literally like, I couldn't target the thing anymore if I tried, but now it's all just really fucking glitched out, and my chance of a speedrun objective is basically slim to none at this point, because the ice cannon doesn't want to do ice cannon things. I think that is a pretty decent name for the episode now that I've came up with it, but then again, because I came up with it, it makes it genius by default. That's just how it works. There is no limit to my absolute awesomeness. I don't make up rules, I just reinforce them. So yeah, let's take out some more of these fellas. They had it coming for looking at me funny, no reason, and that is a perfectly good reason to commit murder. In fact, if you bring that up in a case of law, or a court of law I should say, then immediately you will be dismissed of all charges, because something looking at you funny is something punishable by any means of punishment necessary. That's what that is. Okay, that is what I absolutely 1000% meant to do. Let's just say that. And there's a treasure chest, but we're still missing a troll radio, which we need, which I believe we can get by continuing down here. Yes, that is what we want indeed. We would have had to have jumped down here regardless after that chest, because we couldn't exactly jump back up again afterwards. Wait for it. Boom, baby, get that out of here. And one last time. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, we have a brand new chest added to the vault. That surely and utmost certainly is awesome. So let's pop all the way back over here again. We're going to jump up, and then we're going to have to do the same thing with the ice cannon that we did before, which was miserably fail apparently. And speaking of things I'm miserably failing, yes, as I said earlier, Flarewolf is not really renowned for his platforming skills, apparently. Anyway, so let's get that all sorted, and now let's finally finish this off where we're going to need the ice cannon one last time, blow that up, and finally we can conclude the episode where we probably won't be getting all objectives in one run here because, like I said earlier, the chances of us having completed speedrun objectives after all that successfully are particularly slim, but at the very least we did get a fire aura and a ninja weapon, which is looking mighty fine with some fire stars. So yeah, I suppose they'd go quite well with our fire ninja. In fact, we even missed one of the treasure chests, and we did not get the enemy goal either. So the fact that we were one enemy short and we were one treasure chest short means that we would have had to have returned to this level regardless, even though the speedrun was successful. So at least we managed to clear the objective that I was aiming for in the first place. I was so obsessed with having completed the speedrun that we forgot other objectives along the way. But regardless, that's not going to be our only elemental sensei realm of the episode, because we're also going to tackle the light realm where we can find Aurora's soul gem, as well as one of the single most annoying NPCs out there. So without further ado, let's be discovering of the light elemental realm, and this would leave us with only the water sensei elemental realm having not yet been tackled, but that's because we are yet to have seeked out the soul of any of the water senseis, and that's because the very first one we actually are able to seek out is that belonging to Graveclobber, which isn't until the Dragon Temple level later into the game. So that would explain the lack of water senseis currently having been seeked out for our cast. But luckily we make up for it with our water Imaginator of the brawler class, because apparently 2 brawlers of water element weren't enough for this game. They needed a third one. So yes, here are those NPCs I was talking about earlier. They are so annoying that I'm doing you all a favour by talking over them constantly. You're welcome. Now, I probably was talking about something earlier, but whatever it was, it clearly isn't important, because whatever it was, it has just slipped my mind just now. Yeah, I would love to do that, Lux, but the problem, Lux, is that I can't do what you're asking me to do, Lux, whilst you're telling me what it is you want me to do. So how about less yapping and more working? That sounds like fun. That is the first and last time I will ever talk about work being fun. So, Battletron is here. There is nothing hidden directly behind us at the very start of the level. That would be a very classic secret, that would. I don't remember this level very much because I tend to try to avoid it like the plague, given how awful this level is, so I don't think you could blame me on that one. But what we can do is we can take out them fellas just with that laser right there. Very convenient. So it was also convenient that Battletron can shoot forward with more speed by utilising that attack, and also he has a sword that doubles as a projectile. How awesome is that? Even more awesome than Aurora Soul Gem, and Aurora Soul Gem is pretty awesome in of itself, so that is saying an awful lot. So here we are, Master Aurora herself. She's flipping crazy too, like, look at that, man, flipping around the stage. That's so acrobatic and so speedy that no one can possibly comprehend the speed of it in the end. Any light that goes into your eyes in order for you to comprehend the things that you see before you, well, I'm afraid that Aurora moves quicker than the speed of light, hence why it is inconceivable to our senses, her movement, that is. I swear there's a treasure chest at this point over here. I mean, I could be wrong, I could be horribly wrong. Boom! Let's take him out some more, and we have some more commentary from my absolute favoritist most NPCs of the video game. I was really looking forward to this moment. I am really struggling at the moment to contain my excitement, and I say that without a hint of sarcasm nor shadow of doubt. I could not be more excited for this. Can't you tell from just the raw excitement in my tone of voice right now?
power of light. Continue to beware enemies.
Yeah, that's my plan there, Lux. That's my plan. But it's something that I would love to, you know, let unfold. I would love to execute upon the plan, but it's hard to execute upon anything when I'm too busy having to listen to you telling me how to execute the shit that I'm already trying to execute. How about you just leave me be, let me do my job, and you do yours, which is stand back there and not try to annoy me. But unfortunately, you know, they had one job, and currently they are failing it miserably. Sit there and just let me do my job? Nope, they can't even do that because they're too busy speaking to me about me doing my job in the first place. So yeah, if you want people to do their job, don't talk to them constantly about doing their job. Just let them get on and do it. So there we go, with yet another laser having been lined up, mind you, because obviously this was going to be for the light challenge. These are light lasers, for Pete's sake. What else do you expect? So we need a green laser for that, which actually means that what we need to do, I'm messing up the puzzle over here, we need to get this out of the way, because then we can use this green one over here, pop it right there, very conveniently for us. And then what's also convenient for us right now is how buffed up our light attacks armies with defeating these enemies very rather quickly indeed. So without further ado, let's also bring that down, and then we can finally direct our laser to the place where it needs to be. Now, I find it funny how this level was so unoriginal with its design work that the secret for the treasure chest over there is practically the exact same secret setup as the treasure chest we've already collected. It's just kind of hidden away in the corner somewhere. And it's not even that far off screen, like you can literally see it bobbing back and forth during the cutscene. So missing this treasure chest is basically something that only an idiot would do. If you are the idiot that somehow missed this treasure chest, I'm sorry for calling you out on it, but you are a certified idiot for missing that. I'm joking, of course. That's part of where the laughter came in. And speaking of being an idiot, yeah, my platforming skills there weren't really the best, were they? That, my friends, is what we call instant karma.
Most complicated.
Only the person who calls other people out for being idiots can act so idiotically, after all. It's a nice kind of poetry in notion in that way. So, Lumiosa. There is in fact a green laser there, yes, congratulations on noticing. What I would like to do right now is, you know, skip over all of this, get on with it, but unfortunately, that is asking for too much. Oh, that's inconvenient. Well, how about you shut up? I don't need you to remember, because I have the memory, I can remember for the both of you. You're welcome. You're welcome there, fellas. You're welcome indeed. Much you're welcome. Perhaps that's what they should create as Maui's song for the inevitable Moana 2, which I know exists because they've already hired me as the singer for every single one of the songs, you know, because Disney see how much potential I have in the realm of singing with my phenomenal singing voice there, mind you. So yes. I suppose that despite its a breach of my contract, I can spoil the fact that the inevitable Moana 2 has a song in it called Even More You're Welcome. So yes, because if there's anything we need, it's even more of your welcome. So we need to push these into the correct places in order to gain access to a particularly awesome treasure along the way. So let's pop that over there. We're going to push this fella. Well, we would push that fella if we actually could push that fella, but we can't push that fella, so we won't be pushing that fella. That's more like it. That's some pushing I can get behind. Okay, so where does this go now? We're about to find out, I guess. As you can tell, I'm very unfamiliar with these puzzles because I tend to, as I said much earlier, avoid this level like the plague. For less of those NPCs I have to worry about, the better. Okay, cool, get those first out of here. And these enemies would remind you of the enemies from both Captain Flux, Chicken HQ, as well as, of course, the enemies from the ancient mystical vault, or whatever the fuck it's called. Both cases from Superchargers, and then there's also the enemies found in Cradle of Creation, because if there's anything that correlates to the light element, it is those exact enemies specifically, nothing else. You know, those enemies are the first thing that comes to mind when when I say the word light, or the light element I should say specifically. So let's grab that treasure right there because I feel like it. And there's also a softly spot here, which is pretty darn cool because again we see that fella from Superchargers, a fella who's, you know, got a big sword pointed straight at him apparently. Can we get a little chin shot there? There you go, we got a chin and a sword, a glorious chin sword. Well, we would have if the album wasn't full there, mind you. So let's just delete the first selfie we come across. And boom! That is a true piece of art. so now let's continue this, where obviously we can use these lasers to our advantage. That would be if that laser wasn't blocked by the water, but luckily that's what we have blocks of our own to block the things that are blocking our lasers. So boom, that's that sorted. Now we need the second laser, haven't been sorted, which too, it has also been sorted. That made total, complete and utter grammatical sense right there, that did. So now if that hasn't been completed, we gain access to something or another. It's an Imaginite chest, and you know what? It was worth it, because I love having to tackle this level for longer than what I need to. I love having a more wider opportunity to speak with these NPCs more than what I need to. You know, get out of here quickly, getting to avoid the NPCs. Nah, that's not really what I wished for. It's in the movie Wish, obviously, which, funny enough, revolves around wishes. Who would have seen that coming? The film called Wish, revolving around the idea of wishes. Plot twist essentially that one. I was expecting the film Wish to be all about dreams, even though I suppose wishes do come to us in dreams, which is why that was also to a theme of the film there. Without further ado, let's stop the dial. Stop the dial. And we stop the dial again, because third time's a charm. The classic rule of third, so to say, which is a photography principle, but we're going to bring it into video game logic, and also because, obviously, 3 is a magic number in game, and in Mario games, how many stomps does an enemy take to be defeated? 3, that's how many. Duh. Okay, so we don't have to target that just yet, but as I was saying about Wish earlier, my wish in that movie would obviously be more of a light round. Obviously. You know, why wish for anything else, right? I don't need anything else. Nothing else more than more light, round awesomeness. Now that is what dreams are made of. So we already have a yellow laser. That's pretty darn cool. Well, we will as soon as that's finished melting itself away there, mind you. So let's pop that over there. That's where it needs to be, because that's the only other way in which we can reflect these lasers. Let's destroy the ice blocks, because they had to come and look at me funny. And what is it with other elemental realms having an obsession with an ice theme? You don't even find ice in the water realm, and yet for some reason you find ice in both the light and the fire elemental realms. I guess it makes sense to me. So let's bring this back around, because we haven't yet melted enough of the ice to gain access to the final laser over there, a laser which we are desperately in need of there, mind you. So yes, let's get that reflected correctly, and then we can once again charge ourselves up over here. We've already found all of the collectibles in this area, but I can't remember if the level has speedrunning objectives or not. I'm hoping it doesn't, because then that means we can avoid this level for the rest of our 100% playthrough. And that, my friends, would be absolute glory. You look up glory in the dictionary, and what you would see right there is it being defined as only having to play through the light round once. That is glory.
Thank you, Skylander.
What can I say except you're welcome. But yes, hopefully this we've tackled with a little bit more success than we did the fire elemental round, because that too would also be glorious. Once again, you look up the dictionary definition of glorious, and that definition is what you'd find in its place. Without further ado, we have ourselves a new aura, the light elemental aura. No surprise, given that we did just tackle the light elemental sensei round. And the laser blade, which reminds me of Sir Huddington, because it should, because that's the exact sword that Sir Huddington uses, the main Imaginator form that was used in the marketing of the game. What? 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 I have many questions, video game. Apparently, I didn't find all of the areas, despite me having found all of the collectibles, which is the exact same problem the Griffin Park Observatory has, because there are areas needed to be found, which are in obviously absurd locations, because that's how I forgot to explore in the first place. But what's the point in having this extra difficult to find area that has no collectibles in it? This area I would easily have recollected should there have been a collectible in it, but we found all the collectibles where I haven't gone to all of the areas. This is bullshit, because now I have to tackle this a second time, much like the Griffin Park Observatory, all because I can't find all the sudden areas despite having found all the collectibles. So apparently there's an area so well hidden that you can't find it, but you're not rewarded for it, because there is no collectible. And so how am I supposed to remember to tackle it specifically if there's no reward behind it, if there's no collectible objective behind it? It's such poor level design. Man, my Imaginator's rant is kind of going off the rails here. But if these levels weren't so tedious, then I wouldn't have to fucking rant in the first place. How about we stand back and consider that for a second? But enough of my rambling. The episode is nearing its end, I suppose. It's currently at the 25-minute mark. So we are going to start tackling the Golden Arcade, and we will obviously finish it in the next episode, mind you. A level which I am far more looking forward to than the episodes we just tackled. A level which I will more likely be successful within, because yes, whilst this one also does not possess a speedrun objective, we can't 100% this level the first time around anyway. We have to find a hidden area utilising a mechanic that is unlocked from the Dragon Temple, a level which comes after this one. So without that mechanic already in hand, we're going to be unable to find that area, and as such the 100% completion of the level will be impossible. So without further ado, let's skip over that unnecessary deep stew, and it would appear as though tech is stronger here. So in a Hiffy and split, we are going to be taking Blastatron off the portal and replacing him with Robo. But first things first, we have all of this unnecessary deep stew where I cannot press best for the video game. I cannot skip over it because that would be asking too much. Yeah, that'd be great. Let's try that. But first things first, we need to swap out for a Skylander corresponding to the current element of the area. In this case, that is tech. So that is what we have Sensei Robo for. Man, I really wish I completed that light realm first time, but that is asking for too much. I suppose this game is really just trying to prolong itself for as much time as possible. At the end of the day, like, this series would be way too short if not for all of the tedious, compulsory 100%ness required. And yes, 100%ness is now a word because I said so, no reason. And hey, at least the elemental rounds are short. Like, as bad as they are short at least, unless you all the magic round, you're both painful and long, and the longness of the length is also one of the things making it so painful.
Skylander! Heard you ringing the bell!
Well, that's convenient. Trigger Happy, you know, when we was looking for someone nicer to come out and let us all in. Trigger Happy here, he's certainly someone nicer. So that, my friends, is who we were looking for, and boy am I glad we ran into him. Though don't get too used to Trigger Happy, because he is not the NPC who runs us through this level. It's actually going to be the legendary Sal himself. I much prefer these rat guys as allies as opposed to enemies. They're much nicer this way indeed. So without further ado, let's check out this cannon, which reminds me way too much of the design of the ice cannon of the fire realm. And that's probably because it is no doubt the exact same asset. Because why create two different assets for two things that have different functions, right? Why do that when instead you can use the exact same asset over and over again, much like the laziness of the rest of the game? The game has basically taken the Skylanders superchargers and given it a new coat of paint because it's utilised the same mechanics and the same engine and same assets. I really shouldn't beg about this game all too much though. Like, yes, I had my rant earlier, which was very fun to divulge into, might I mention. But the game isn't all bad. At least the game is brainless fun. You can switch your brain off and just have a casual time exploring the world with some of the most over-the-top and chaotic movesets ever imagined for a Skylanders cast. That satisfaction is what leads to such fast-paced and fluent gameplay, because the senseis just play so well. Their attack chain together so well, and it's very, very fast-paced. So the levels might not be creative, but they are at least fun to traverse with the overpowered senseis, mind you. Keyword there is for overpowered senseis. All of the underpowered cores, those guys on the other hand don't make the game as much fun to traverse through. So let's pop ourselves all the way over here where Sal has some commentary for us. So we have to play some cards, which we will do after having gotten past this hitch already, mind you. So let us hit the dial, and we'll hit it again. There we go. That's what we're talking about. A new chest has been added to the vault. And so one final thing we're going to do before I end off the episode is beating the Creation Clasher at his own game. Creation Clash. I wonder how many brain cells it took to come up with his nickname right there. I mean, Creation Clasher. What he did was add an on the end. It's not particularly skillful, that sort of naming type skill. But yeah, you know, he kind of owns it, so respect to him for that, I guess. So here we are with Tideball, again another thing I can respect because Tideball's an excellent play, given how much of a great sensei she is. I really wish we had seeked out her soul already, because it would be great to play as her right now. But unfortunately, like a lot of things so far this playthrough, that is asking too much. At least we have Flair Wolf instead, who's an even superior sensei. In fact, he is the utmost superior sensei in the entirety of this game. He is my favourite sensei, and that is what being my favourite sensei means. There we go, we beat this loser 7-2, and I'm not sorry about it. I'm not sorry about it at all. We have one final chest added to Vault, and as soon as we're done with these cutscenes, we are going to, without further ado, end off the episode where we stand. So I'll see you next week for the 15th episode of Skylanders Imaginators Soul Seekers. But we will not be rolling out that outro until after we have chosen a winner for the StarCast giveaway. So as per the norm, we're going to be doing this fairly by taking every single name from the giveaway and placing them into a random name wheel, where we will obviously be spinning the wheel to generate at random who our winner will be chosen as for the StarCast giveaway itself. And so that name being picked at random is none other than Goober Fred 1234. Massive congratulations to the giveaway winner. I'm going to put the winning comment on screen now, and be sure to claim your prize before Sunday, otherwise it will go to a second place winner that I will choose out for the next YouTube shorts that I make. So you have until Sunday to claim your prize, and you can do so by contacting me on one of my social medias that have been on the screen for the past 20 seconds now. And with that having been said and done, it is officially time for the outro. Without further ado, I cannot in good conscience end off this video without first thanking all of my incredible channel members whose continued support help make these videos possible. Without them, these videos would be near impossible to make, so from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate every last one of them. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, there are plenty of options on screen now to explore, and please consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my content. On that note, this video is coming to an end, so thank you so much as always for watching. Until the next video arises, peace!